Hey there, and welcome. You know that feeling when you say a sentence and it just sounds a little off? You can't quite put your finger on it, but something's not right. Well, today we're tackling one of those tiny grammar points that makes a huge difference in sounding natural.
And we're not just guessing here. Our guide for this is the one and only Michael Swan's Practical English Usage. If you're into learning English, you know this book is basically the gold standard for clear, real-world explanations. So yeah, we're in very good hands. All right, let's dive right in with a quick question for you. Take a look at this sentence. I like very much skiing. What's your gut feeling? Does that sound totally fine? Or is your internal grammar alarm starting to go off?
If you thought, something's a bit weird there, then congratulations, you've got a fantastic ear for the natural rhythm of English. Now, don't get me wrong, you can totally understand what it means, but the word order, it's clunky. So how do we fix it? Simple. Instead of jamming very much right in the middle, you've got two fantastic 100% correct options. You can say, I very much like skiing, or, and this one's super common, I like skiing very much. Okay, so now we know what to say, but that's only half the battle, right? To really get it, to make it stick, we need to understand the why. What's the deal? Why does moving that one little phrase cause so much trouble? And here it is. This is the secret handshake. The main rule here is that adverbs, those are the words that describe the action, they don't normally get to cut in line between a verb and its direct object. Let's break this down. In our sentence, the verb, the action, is like. And what is being liked? The object, skiing. Now here's a super easy way to remember this. Think of the verb and its object as best friends. They like to stick together. Very much, in this case, is an adverb. It's telling us how much we like skiing. And in that clunky sentence, it's basically being that awkward person trying to wedge themselves right between the two best friends. It just messes up the flow. That's what makes it sound so unnatural. So, if we can't put it there, where can it go? Well, the good news is you've got options. Let's check out the two perfect ways to build this sentence so it sounds great every single time. First up, we have what's called the mid position. This is where you put very much right before the main verb. I very much like skiing. It sounds strong, a little formal, and is absolutely correct. And then we have option 2, which is probably the one you'll hear and use most often. This is the end position. You just take very much and pop it at the very end of the sentence. I like skiing very much. Sounds perfect, right? And this is the main takeaway here, you guys. It's not about memorizing one single, rigid rule. Both of these placements are totally correct. Both sound natural. You get to choose which one you want to use. How cool is that? Now, let's zoom out a bit, because this whole thing, it isn't just some weird, special rule that only applies to very much. Not at all. It's actually part of a much bigger, much more logical system for where adverbs go in English. So just a quick refresher. What even is an adverb? Well, it's just a word that gives us more info about the action. It tells us when, where, or how something is happening. Words like tomorrow, badly, often, yep, all adverbs. And here's where it gets interesting. The placement of these adverbs isn't random. There's a method to the madness. Adverbs like always or probably, they tend to hang out in that mid position before the verb. But adverbs like happily or here, they usually go at the end. See, our friend very much fits right into this system. Okay, as we start to wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final thought, and it's a really important one. So why do we even care about this stuff? Because the whole point of language is to communicate, to be understood. Getting these little rules right just helps you get your point across more smoothly. It removes the bumps in the road so people can focus on your message. It's about being clear, not about being perfect. And I have to end with this amazing quote from Michael Swan himself. He says, we shouldn't get obsessed with correctness or worry every time we make a mistake. Because really, grammar is not the most important thing in the world. It's just a tool to help us connect with each other. So I'll leave you with a question to think about. What other small rules have you come across that make a really big difference in how natural you sound? Keep that curiosity alive. Thanks so much for tuning in.